welcome back to Everything Automotive. Right, today's going to be a short video. It's pretty cold in here. I'm going to do a video on the basic of cars. So I tend to do a weekly or every 2 week check on the car. It can range from numerous bits, from engine, brake pads, tyres. I use this daily. Same with my wife's car, she uses it daily, making sure everything's topped up. So I'm not going to talk too much, just going to jump into it. We're going to go to the engine bay, go around the car, and I'm going to point out what needs looking at on a weekly basis. Some people say weekly, some people say every fortnight, but I tend to do it weekly. So I'm going to lift the bonnet up here. So we've got the engine bay here, right guys? Now it's going to vary on different cars and whatnot, right? So I'm going to start with the oil, which is here. That's the oil filler. Okay, that's the water reservoir. Okay, so let me just grab my cloth 1 second. Right, so hope you guys can see this. The car's cold. I did drive it today, probably about 4 hours ago. It's pretty level here, so you want to check it on a level surface, right? So this is first of all, that's your dipstick for the car. As you can see, it's got oil right the way to the top. Just gonna wipe it with a rag. Right, now here you can tell you've got your maximum and your minimum line. You might not be able to see, okay? But you've got a hole here and a hole here, which means that's your minimum, that's your maximum. Now, ideally you want it maximum. If it's slightly under, it's not an issue. You don't want it too much over, because then it causes a whole lot of problems, right? So again, just gonna wipe it down. Gonna check the oil. I'm going to do an oil change on this car anyway. Right, so this is halfway, okay? So I checked the oil on this when I bought the car, and it was just over. Got no leaks, but they do eat oil, a little bit of oil. I'm doing an oil change shortly, so hence why I haven't topped it up, right? So this is not good at all. This needs to be all the way over here, right? Okay, so like I said, I'll be doing an oil change on this, hence why I haven't topped it up. Right. That slots back in like so. So like I said guys, these checks should be on a weekly basis, especially if you guys out there using your cars as daily drivers. That's your filler cap. 9 times out of 10, depends how often they've been filled up. They do get a bit seized. They have rubber rings around them, and sometimes they perish, but this looks pretty clean up here. Right. So that's number 1. Number 2 is water. Now that's already on this car. I have to check the coolant in 2 places, which is here and another tank back there, which I will show you. So, and please guys, do not do this while the car is hot, because the hot coolant will explode everywhere. Okay, so right, touch the coolant in there. Right, second place we need to check it. And that tank there. Okay, as you can see, there is coolant in there because my finger's wet. It's probably 3/4 full. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to basically do a whole coolant flush on this. Maybe put something like waterless coolant in here. Not decided yet. Okay, so ideally it does need filling up slightly. Nothing major. Okay, so that's that. Right, so next one is brake fluid, clutch fluid, right? Not really part of the checks, but it helps if you do. So it's best not to take the caps off, because I can see it's full up here and it's full up here, because these fluids can get contaminated quite quickly. You don't want contaminated brake fluid in your car. It seems like it's fresh. I know it's fresh because I checked it when I bought the car. So that's all good, and clutch fluid is all good as well, right? So going to give you a quick sweep over the engine bay. So, number 1, engine bay. Engine oil. Number 2, coolant. Okay. These is to make sure that your engine stays good, you don't have any issues, you don't run out of water, your car doesn't overheat, etc. Right. So that's that. Moving on to tyres and brakes. Right. As you can see here, you got your tyre treads. Sorry, it's a bit dirty. Okay. You got your treads. You got the outside of the wall. I mean, these tyres are not even a week old, right? So you can see you still got the dot on there. Okay, so you can see that they're quite fresh, but normally you get sidewall damage you want to look out for. You've got inner and outer wear of the tyres, meaning it might look good at the top or the centre, but on the left and the right, depending if your camber's out, etc., they will have wear on it. Now, if you just run your finger over here like I'm doing, and you think, oh, that's pretty good, but if it's one on the inside, please stop you. You're still looking at 3 points and a fine per tyre. So don't let that catch you out. Brake pads, okay, discs, pads. Make sure you got enough meat on them. You can normally tell by running your finger down here, and you can tell the width, the actual width of the gap in the pad. Right, on the tyres, make sure you got the right PSI of air in the tyres. The amount of people that carry load in a car and do not put the right amount of air in the tyres. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure on this car, but you have a chart over here, okay? And it tells you how much PSI of air to put in for passengers that you're carrying in the car or load you are carrying in the car. Please stick to this, guys, because this will give you the adequate air pressure in your tyres for the load that you have, okay? So make sure you got the right amount of PSI of air in your tyres. Also, guys, wheel nuts, another important thing. Make sure you check your wheel nuts with the specified torque settings. Now, a lot of people don't. I mean, personally, I don't really go into torque settings. I just make sure they're tight. So even if you carry a breaker bar in the car, and make sure that your wheels are tight, your lug nuts are tight. Just make sure after a certain amount of driving that your wheels are on properly. Okay. Moving on to lights. Make sure your lights are working. Make sure your headlights are working. Your indicators are working. All your rear lights are working. Okay, check your indicators all the way around. Right, your side lights, reverse lights, brake lights, fog lights. You're gonna probably need a second person for this to push the pedals while you're in. Make sure your number plate lights are working. Okay. Mine are just very dim, so I'll probably put some LEDs in there. Make sure your signals are flashing on the inside, okay, as so you know which way you're going. Okay guys, it was brief and short, but that's all it takes to check your vehicle on a weekly basis to make sure you do not have any kind of an accident, your engine stays good, your cooling stays good, your car doesn't let you down on the side of the road, okay? It's cold out there, you don't want to be stuck in the side of the road waiting for a recovery, okay? So please guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Any questions you may have, please let me know. Check your vehicles on a daily basis, because you'll be surprised how many people just drive the car and you're going to get a puncture, or you could have spotted a nail, or you low PSI. Carry one of those mobile pumps in the car, very handy. I'll put all the links in the description for things that I've mentioned today, like the pump and etc. You know, good coolant to use in your car, etc. So anything I think is adequate, I'll put in the link, so please see down below. Any questions you may have, drop me a message. I'll